So everybody's been asking me for this video, at least for the last 48 hours. So here it is, guys. Finally, I'll give you my honest-to-goodness reactions on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, or Project Z as they were calling it last year. So I have watched. We'll watch the trailer here. I have watched a little bit of gameplay on it, and I will admit it looks promising. I'll discuss some more of the details after, but we'll watch the trailer here real quick and have a quick discussion on this because I know everybody's really interested in this. And unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to bring DB Heroes back to the stream, but I would love to start bringing more Dragon Ball content to you guys. So let's take a look here. So I actually love that little... I love the fact that he's involved in it. It just gives you a little bit more... Makes it a little more official, I guess. So, right off the bat there, let me go back and look at that first scene. I know everybody's gushing about how beautiful this looks. Maybe it's just me. And again, I'm just probably overthinking this. They'll probably make some changes between this trailer and then what the actual gameplay is. But that first scene looked really almost too static. The smoke effect looks good. The fire effect looks good. I like the fact it's a little more... Like, it puts you in the moment a little more. It's not just, okay, they laid it out in a field and nothing's harmed. No, like this is like a major event. And I like that. But I wish they did a little more cinematography with it. Had, like camera motion or something like that. Something that really makes it feel like it's not just a flat 3D image with this, After Effects into it. Let's continue. That said, it does feel... It feels more menacing. That's classic. Hold on, let's go find that. That's so classic.
We need your help.
Had to have that shot in there, I guess.
We gotta hurry. Which one was?
Maybe it's just me with the voice acting. I'm sure they just ADR'd it in here, but it just didn't feel right.
To die next. Either way, you're all dead.
It just feels like it's all...
What are you looking at, punk? I'm gonna pound you into a pulp. Think you can handle this? Prepare to be flattened, Kakarot.
So, I get what everybody's gushing about. Those Ozaru scenes look amazing. Now, the shot with Vegeta when he's first transforming and his pupils go out, was not feeling that. But the Ozaru scene is just solid.
Kakarot, please defeat Frieza. No! Let him go, Frieza! Goku!
Classic. See, that looks gorgeous. So that almost looks like what I expect the gameplay to look like. And that's really... Because most everything up to this point has been cutscenes. This right here, if you watch how the motions are and how the animation is, I love the gold outline they gave him. Like, every dark line is gone. It's now replaced with kind of this yellowish amber color. And you can kind of see how you're bombarded. And I'm just going to look at this like it's gameplay footage here. Even though I know it's a trailer. It looks like you're just bombarded from all sides. And that I like. That looks really exciting to play. Back to cutscenes, obviously.
You must die by my hand! You fool!
Okay. So, yes, it looks utterly gorgeous. The problem with a trailer like this is all you're seeing are the cutscenes and things they want you to see. You're not seeing a lot of the gameplay. So that is something that's worrying initially when I'm talking about this. Now, again, I've seen gameplay, and the gameplay, if I'm honest, looks just as good as the cutscene. The gameplay looks gorgeous. I mean, beautiful. Now, here's my concern. Everything that's been leaked between, but everything that's been told to us between last year and what this trailer is showing this year is it looks like it's an RPG that's really just covering the first two sagas of Dragon Ball Z. Not Dragon Ball Z. And it's that same story that we know. Like, there's nothing new to explore. I don't see the purpose in an RPG that just goes back through the anime the way the anime was told. It looks beautiful, but I see no replayability. And I know RPGs don't have a crazy amount of replayability to begin with, but, where's the world? Where's all this other stuff that's really going to interest me in playing the game? I could just go watch the anime again if I wanted to see this. I know it's updated, it looks beautiful, and looks gorgeous, but why am I going to invest dozens, maybe even 100 plus hours of my time into a game that's, a few hours worth of anime content? It just doesn't... I'm not seeing it, personally. Now, once again, I'll go back and I'll say I have watched quite a bit of the gameplay, and it does look like, well, thus far, not a completely open world. If they made a completely open world, like they had all of the Earth, the Dragon Ball Earth, they had all of Namek, they had everything, I'll almost be too much. I don't know how you'd fit it in one game, but I always kind of compare it to like GTA, where you can just go do anything. If you had like that in the Dragon Ball world, that would be phenomenal. And I've seen it. I've seen they're working on stuff to make it a little more exciting, to add more stuff in there. There was a whole scene where you can go interact with Android 8, who was never even shown in Dragon Ball Z until the very, very end. So clearly they have some ideas. Clearly they know what they're doing. It's a bit early for me to sit here and, talk down about it. And I'm not trying to. It's just one of those, I have a legitimate concern that they don't really... They're not thinking of this, like, taking it in the direction they probably should. At least the way I think they should. So, those are my initial concerns, if I'm honest. That said, it does look absolutely gorgeous. But I'm going to be real. If I'm going to invest my time and my money in it, I need to see a little bit more. So, we've got about a year. I mean, it comes out in 2020. It says early 2020. I believe if we go to see, early 2020. Now, what early means, it could be anywhere up to halfway through Q2. It could be literally a year from now. We don't know. But that's just a projected date. I'm going to guess March. I'm going to just wager. So, we'll see what happens. Unreal Engine, just noticed that. Should have noticed that the first time, but I'm an idiot. So, I'm intrigued. They have my interest, but I'm not 100% sold yet, if I am completely honest. Now, again, there's going to be so much more coming out on it. The little gameplay I've seen, definitely right now, if they came up to me and said, today you've got to make a decision whether you're going to pre-order it or not, and I would definitely be like, all right, give it to me. But that's also partially like, the impulsive side of me. How much am I going to play it? That's kind of the big question for me in the long run. And I don't know. Because remember, most of my gameplay I do on stream. I don't play much off stream. I've got other things going on in my life, unfortunately. Like, literally, I've had to budget my gameplay into my life, and to make it justifiable, I've had to bring it to you people. That's literally how my gameplay works in my life. That's why, as much as I'm enjoying Pokemon, I know some of you get annoyed by it, it's how I'm going to get it done. I have to play it here on stream. So, it's something I'm sure you guys are going to want to see, but I just am curious how much longevity there's going to be in it. So the answer is I'll probably wind up playing it one way or the other. I'll probably wind up buying it, and we'll see where it goes. But I am going to approach this with some heavy, heavy skepticism. That's my 2 cents. I haven't watched anybody else's. I've deliberately avoided other people's reactions for the most part. I've seen a few, but I've tried to avoid most people's reactions because I want to go into this with a nice, clean, unbiased perspective, and I hope that's what you would expect from me. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and think of it more from the standpoint of, is this something you want to invest a ton of time into? Because for me, if it's just the same story, I have no interest. But I know that there's a lot more missions and a lot more things, which is, and I'm going to warn it this way, that's going to muddle the timeline a little bit. Because literally for those sagas, like Raditz showed up at Earth, Goku's dead. Everybody's training. There's no time. Vegeta and Nappa get to Earth. They're fighting. There's no time. The fight's over with. They find out about Namek. There's no time. There's nothing in the center. Everybody is in a hurry to get to the next thing. It's not like, the first few sagas of Dragon Ball where it's literally just Goku wandering around, meeting people he meets, and doing Goku things. Like, by this point in the story, it's just rapid fire. You're going from one crisis to the next, to the next, to the next. So I don't see a lot of opportunity there without hosing the timeline for people to do a lot of world exploring. It just doesn't make sense. And I get it. It's the story of Goku. But at some point, they're going to have to produce more content for it. They're going to have to give you some time to jump into other characters and to do other things. I'd love for there to be a build your own character. What I would really love to see out of this, if they had that kind of graphical, intention. It's on PS4, so you don't have to worry about, people's systems and all that. If they had that kind of graphical intent and they made it like basically rehash Dragon Ball Online, that'd be great. Except I think the problem is most people are kind of done with MMOs right now. MMOs have kind of run their course, and people are into other things. There's a lot of MMOs out there, but at the same rate, they're not the market that it used to be. That's just the way I see the gaming market in general. So while that would be a great platform for something like this, rather than that story specifically, make some original stories, which Dragon Ball's never been very good at. Not to say they can't do it, to say they haven't had a lot of opportunities to prove they can. Again, I want to be completely unbiased here. A platform like this would be a great opportunity to do that. So when I see it's just this story, it kind of feels like a hit and a miss at the same time. Like, graphically, it's a huge hit, but it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. You're doing so much more with the anime. It's more visceral. You're just, it feels more personal than just watching the anime. But at the same rate, I feel like there's more they could have done with it, if I'm completely honest. So we'll see what happens. But thus far, like I said, it's an action RPG that just takes you through the first two sagas of Dragon Ball Z, and I feel like there could be more. I feel like I know they're going to have 1,000 DLC packs. Oh, we've added the Android Saga. Oh, we've added this. Oh, we've added that. Because that's the way these things always go. But I just don't. It's not the way I want to spend my time. I want a unique story. Maybe I'm being picky. I don't know. You guys let me know. Follow my Birdman. Hit me up a Booker. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And I'll be back at you guys with more gaming content. Because we've been doing all kinds of shit lately. Next time.